my next Workaway. After camp, me and my friend have had 2 weeks of doing nothing before we head to Europe. So we were like, let's see what Workaway has to offer us. After a very crazy and hectic summer of constantly being busy and always on the go, 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 we were like, maybe we need something a little bit more chill. So we are currently working on this like really big, beautiful property, helping this couple get their garden and land ready for the winter. I wanted to take you guys on a little tour and show you some of the jobs that we've been doing if you've ever considered Workaway and think that it's something, you know, you might want to check out, because I highly recommend it. This has been an amazing experience. So Dylan, are you ready? Yeah, let's go. All right, so this is where we started one of our first projects. And basically when we got in here, there was like a little bit of wood over there, and we just neatly stacked it all up here, and we took some of their newer / older wood from out here and also helped stack that. Got those guns moving, look. And then this guy helped chop some of it right here on this block, because I can't do that, but I'm great at stacking the wood. I just know that if you have me try to split wood, I would just probably come down on every side of that but where the log is directly, because I'm just not accurate when it comes to things like that. I'd give it a shot, but probably wouldn't get very far. So that's one of the compost piles. That's where like we put all of our food scraps and paper towels and toilet paper, and then it makes the compost. And you'll see more of that when we get to the garden. We got a bit of a walk to go, guys. So this used to be a little path that you could get to the garden from, but during our time here, this tree branch fell and is blocking the path. So we're gonna walk around on the road. So they got some beehives here. Apparently, this one's not doing too well because the yellow jackets are stinging the bees. And that's just really rude if you ask me. Like, I feel like they're both pollinators. Why can't they just like get along? That hive's doing okay. We didn't get to do anything related to the bees, which I'm a little thankful for because I'm allergic to bees. Still would have been down to try. But they make so much honey here and have jars of honey that we've been able to have every morning with our oatmeal or on toast. And it's just been great and really good, because apparently what I learned is that the natural honey, they don't heat, so you still have all the medicinal properties and the antioxidants from it, but when you get honey from the store, they heat it and it gets rid of all those things. So that's a bummer. Why do we do that, America? You guys see this mulch? These two strong individuals, you're quite dark back there, these two strong individuals heaved and hoed it from the mulch lot. Only half of it was delivered, but the other half was us.
I mainly hoed it.
That was like our first job when we got here. Besides moving the wood on the first day, we then went and we picked some up from a guy nearby that just has a bunch of mulch. And it tested my strengths a little bit because I've been editing all summer, but I killed it. And now I'm so strong, I'm basically Superman. So they recently built this outdoor shower, and there was a hose, this hose right here, that would run out. And it was just kind of flopping on the ground until we got here. And we built this little stone path over it, which is pretty great if I do say so myself. Never built anything like that, but he said we did a great job. Hello? So I took a little clip while we were doing this, but there was a bunch of linoleum on this floor, and we tore it all up so they can then place the floor like this here, which I'm gonna go ahead and say that I'm the linoleum master. I got up the most linoleum. He didn't get up that much linoleum. I got all of it up, most of it. And we're also here with one other Workaway, and she did great too. But I was the linoleum master. Ooh, I look like I'm in a horror movie. And one other thing that we have in abundance, which is fantastic, is all of this garlic. I don't know about you guys, but I love garlic. All right, now we're going to go dive into the woods. So this is where they have a lot of their blueberry bushes. And for upkeep, we put more fertilizer on them and surrounded them with new cardboard, while also picking out a bunch of those, what were they called, burdock plants? Plants are like these just little like spiky balls that are kind of like Velcro, and they just stick to everything. If you walk past them with pants on, they just stick to your pants, and now you have a bunch of new friends. But this is what we did. Basically, we laid down a bunch of fertilizer, and then we put new cardboard on top of this old cardboard that's basically one with the earth now. And then we put mulch on top of that and put a little circle around these blueberry bushes. Guys, I haven't had blueberries since I was in Mexico because I can't eat fruit like that here in the United States, but I was able to eat these blueberries because they've had this property for 10 years and they've never used like any sprays or insecticides or pesticides. So they were chemical free and I was able to eat them and it was very exciting.
Burdock attack.
No! Oh man. See? This is the burdock life. We trick on. We did so much. We're so sustainable. I'm homeless, but you know what? I'm sustainably homeless. Now, I have all the knowledge. While we're walking to our next point of interest, just to give you guys a little more of a insight into how much we've worked, we were only really doing like 3.5 to 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. And not only do we get that beautiful cabin to stay in, which I'll still show you in a little bit, but our hosts also take us to this amazing market down the street run by these like lovely Amish people, and their produce is so good. And their orange juice, the orange juice. Orange juice. Oh my god, it's out of this world. And like we read reviews about this place, the store, and people like drive over an hour just to come get stuff from them. So not only do we get a place to stay, we get free food from an amazing market for 20 hours a week, 25 hours a week. You really can't beat that. Less than that, 20 hours. So they say that the water is a lot lower than it's been in a very long time, but usually you can swim in the stream. It's very pretty. This is another project that we did together. So this is where they're going to be planting their garlic in October. So we just made like 6 to 8 inch lines of mulch about a foot apart. At least we tried, on top of all this cardboard, and it is ready for them. So they can make more garlic like we just saw in the attic, because garlic is life. On to the garden. Here are a few more ones we did. Dylan killed it with learning how to use a scythe, something like that, and took down all of these plants. Single or maybe double-handedly. Dylan's gonna go turn off the electric fence that doesn't work. But we've been working on that. Another project that we just finished today, with the exception of these 5 feet around the entirety of the garden, was laying down all this chicken wire. Today I'm learning how to use the lawnmower, and there's a bunch of party hats on them, so that's cool. So, like most gardeners have problems with animals, there are these woodchucks that keep eating the vegetables in their garden, so they're trying everything they can to keep them out. But little bugger still gets in. So his last point of entry was digging a hole under the fence, so now good luck, Mr. Woodchuck. We're in. Now, things are a little sporadic because they don't want the woodchuck to know where they're planting the good stuff, you know? Funny story. This is a compost pile. So it has seeds and leftover foods from like a bunch of different, you know, fruits and vegetables, meals, whatever. So we were given 2 what we thought were squash, that they were a little more green. I don't think, they were a little bit bigger than these. But we cooked it up one night and tasted just like a potato. So we had a hybrid potato squash. Okay guys, I want to show you my favorite thing in the garden. Even though I don't think I'm supposed to be eating tomatoes, I'm still gonna eat these because half of the word is ground cherries. They're called ground cherries. So they're not tomatoes, but they are tomatoes. But come look at how cute they are. There's so many. So this is a ground cherry, and you just do a little plop. They're so good and they're so sweet. Just look at this. We're told these sell for $9 a pound, and I could definitely see why. If you've never had one and you have the chance, just try and find one. So you see this giant forest cake, aka this compost pile? Dylan and I built this one with our own bare hands. So basically we were layering like grass and weeds and mulch, and we just did that like a layer cake. It looked a little bit more layered the few days ago when we did it. Now it's all just kind of brown because it all kind of came together. And then we layered some of the compost pile from where we started at on top, and eventually they are recording the temperature, which is pretty cool. It will grow things like that other one. So sustainability is pretty sick. So yeah, that was basically all of the projects that we completed in the past 12 days. The only one that I can't really show you about is when we went into the woods and pulled trees out and cut them up and then put them in the truck to then go and stack. But now I will show you our little cabin where we've been staying. Actually, before we go there, I filmed this yesterday because the field was just so beautiful at like sundown, but there's this giant field at the top of this property to just go and like look at the pond, and here, just, it's beautiful. Take a look. So this is the cute little cabin we got to stay in. We shared the common room with another workawayer who slept in her camper, but we did get the room all to ourselves. This was the first time I've ever used a propane stove to cook on, and also use a dry sink. We would use rainwater if there was any to wash our dishes, and our host would bring us separate filtered water to drink and cook with. It really taught us a lot about conserving water when you don't have an endless supply at your fingertips. Our room was also very comfy, and we loved getting to have our own space for the first time in months. It was definitely a nice break from having to share a room with 4 other people at a time. So that's what we've been up to for the past 12 days after camp. We came here like the second camp was over and we started the next day. But man, I really love Workaways. Like, we got to help people that really need help. This was a lot of work. It was a lot of manual labor, which I was hyped for because I had been editing for way too long and my body was like, Lindsay, you need to go to the gym. But this was a perfect alternative because at least at the end of the day, we got to help somebody and they helped us by giving us a place to stay and food, which is what Workaway is all about, and I love that. But we leave tomorrow morning, and then I have 2 days to say goodbye to my parents in New York before getting on a plane and going to Europe. So when you guys see this vlog, I'll already be there, and I'm just so excited to share with you all the crazy adventures that are about to happen, because though this was a nice, calm Workaway, the next one will be me working at a party hostel in Slovakia, and man, I think that one's really gonna be a sight to see. I will catch y'all on the next one.